We're live. We're live. We're live. Who's there? Hello. Hello, hello. Chat's going to come in just a moment. I know it. I can feel it. Chat's going to come in any moment now. We're going to share over to YouTube and Discord. What's up? Here we go. Got some folks. How's it going? We got a good one for you. Welcome to the new live stream, baby. I just got to share this over to the Discord, boys, because some of these folks live and breathe on the Discord. They sometimes don't even see YouTube notifications. I got to make sure I put this in correctly. There we go. We live. We live. All right, where's chat? Robaby says, make sure you like the stream. What's up, guys? First time doing this. This is super fun. We've never done like a proper live show like this, and I'm just like figuring it out as I go along. This is going to be a ton of fun. So I'm going to set the agenda for you boys today. I'm going to let everybody trickle in for a little bit, and then I'm going to set the agenda over here. Ooh, Nick Rogers, terrified of bikes but want to show support as a car enthusiast. I love your channel. Nick, welcome aboard. Happy to have you. I used to be a car enthusiast myself, formerly reformed. I had a 350Z back in the day, which was a ton of fun. But I think there's a lot of crossover. If you love engines, you love going fast, bikes have that for cheap, and it's pretty sweet. We got a great show today, folks. Yeah, to some people in chat saying that I've never done a live, and I never have. I've never done a live stream before, not like this. We're about to do about an hour-long live stream here with a ton of fun content. We're going to be doing some news and some kind of YAMMIE Noob news. I'm going to hang out with you guys. Y'all can chat. Later in the show, we're going to be doing a Q&A over on Discord, and then also I will be answering a bunch of questions on YouTube as well. So if y'all have some questions, feel free to drop them in onto the chat later on in the show, and I'll try to answer them. And last, we're going to do another reaction video. That one did really, really well. Earlier today, that video went live, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And I've pulled up a bunch of other videos, better videos this time, not a bunch of low-tier TikTok content. And it's going to be a lot of fun about that. So why don't we just kick this off already? I'm going to put the timer on to make sure that I keep myself nice and tidy, nice and honest. Otherwise, we're going to have a bad time here if I'm just sitting around and doing this for, 50 minutes or something like that. So we are hard starting now. Boom. News with YAMMIE Noob, boys. Let's go. So I have a crazy story to tell you guys. I found out yesterday. If y'all remember, we gave away a green, beautiful, pristine Kawasaki ZX6 earlier this year. It was phenomenal. Really nice bike. Took it on track. We put sticky tires on it. We flashed it. We put an exhaust on it. Great machine. Really, really enjoyed it. The dude that won it, a little bit of suspect character. I won't get into it, but it was a little hard to get a hold of him. I wasn't quite sure about him as a human being. I'll just put it that. I don't want to denigrate the guy in any way, shape, or form, but a little strange. Let's just put it that way. I received a notice by way of the dealership that we bought the bike from. They told me that the bike was listed as abandoned in the state of Washington and was getting ready to be auctioned off. And I'm like, what? Wait, why am I getting this notice? Why are you getting this notice at the dealership? And it turns out that the guy never registered the bike in his name. He never transferred it over. We sent the title to him. We sent everything over like that, and it's always their responsibility to do that. And the friggin' bike was abandoned, which is crazy. And so I got this notice, and they're like, hey, we're going to auction off this bike. It's listed in your name. Just wanted to give you a heads up. And I'm like, dude, this bike isn't even my bike. What the heck is going on? So I guess the bike is going to be auctioned off. Part of me thought that it would be awesome to fly out there and then bid on the bike and get it back. But I was like, that is so crazy. I don't have the time or the bandwidth to go back out to Washington and bid on this bike and get it back, although it would make a sweet-ass race bike, that's for sure. So I thought about that, but RIP to the ZX6. Really sad that it's going to be auctioned off. The Kurt's asking, where is it being auctioned? So it's auctioned off. I'd have to look at the official letter, but it's somewhere in Washington as like part of a police auction because it's been sitting at a tow yard for forever, racking up a bunch of fees. So pretty crazy. So yeah, ZX6 winner, pretty crazy. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Next up, we have some news about the Honda Hornet giveaway. And this is a bit of a PSA because I tried calling the winner today. I've sent several emails, and we have actually not been able to get a hold of the Honda Hornet giveaway winner, Yvette, out in California. If you guys saw my other live stream that I did giving away the Hornet, we have not been able to get a hold of this person, and per the sweepstakes rules, we will have to select another winner if I don't hear back from her in a timely fashion. I believe the official rules say it's 5 days. I need to double check. I don't take my word for it right there. But Yvette in California, dude, if you're out there, please hit me back. I have called you. I've emailed you. Please let me know. Maximum Warp on the chat telling me that there is a chance. Boys, there is a chance. There is a chance we have to pick another winner. So it's pretty crazy. Yvette, I really hope you hit me back. I really want to give this bike away to you. I would not like to have to pick a new winner. It's always a bit awkward when we have to do that because then it's like, well, what happened to the other person? So, yeah, didn't hear back from you yet. Would love to hear back from you. Let me know. Yvette, if you're on the stream, anybody else, please let me know. If you know Yvette out in California and she has the email that I sent her and the phone call that I gave to her and the voicemail, and I'm about to text her right now too. So we need to get in touch with this person, please. Boys, I wanted to shout out too that the merch is back online on the store. We had a bit of a hiatus with the merch. We were actually switching merch providers, and I remember a lot of you out there were sad because you were trying to get in on the Honda Hornet giveaway and we did not have merch, which was sad. But I did just want to point out, doing a little bit of self-promotion here, but pointing out for the fans too, switch over to picture-in-picture. Merch is back on the store. Check it out. We got this new shirt here. I love this one. It says do wheelies in the kind of grocery bag font. This is a great one. So if you've been looking to get some YAMMIE Noob merch, it is officially back on the store. Go and check that out. Super excited that that is back on the store here. Really pumped on that. So yeah, we got all the shirts, all the hats. I think everything else is back up on here. The joggers. The jogger's actually a really good seller for us for some reason. But yeah, warmer season now. Get yourself a hoodie. Do something nice for you. We got the Do Wheelies hoodie, too. This is perfect for this time of year. I'm actually thinking of picking this up. I'm actually wearing one of the new ones right now. And, yeah, pretty good. So, shameless self-promotion over. I did want to tell you boys that. Of course, I did. Let me just double-check, make sure we're back. We are back. Okay. Chat is back here. We're looking good to go. So, one more piece of news. Mike B says, Yam, teach me how to wheelie. Oh, wait. Now, listen. I can't do rad balance point dank nooners, but your papa can wheelie pretty good. Chase him out for a little bit, have some fun. I am not a stunt artist, but I've been known to pop a wheelie from time to time. It's on video. Check it out. Last bit of news. I am going. I can't say much about where I'm going to in January because I'm technically on embargo for it, but I will give you some clues. I'm going to a very exotic location for a bike manufacturer for a new motorcycle model. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, boys, but it's going to be a country I've never been to before with a rabid fan base. That's all I can say. The people in this country are freaking stoked on motorcycles, and they really want you to know it. They always come out in force in the comments, and we love to hear them. It's always a ton of fun. So, yeah, we're going out to this country. It's a bike that was super popular at EICMA. That's all I can say, too. A very popular bike at EICMA that I will be checking out in January and doing a big, long trip out to this place to do a huge ride out there, too. Stay tuned for that. Video going to be dropping mid-January for that as well. So now I will answer some chat-based questions here. Daniel says, can you please put Power Cup 2s on your website? I chew through them every other track day. Would love to get entries. That would be awesome. If we freaking had Power Cup 2s on the store, I would buy them myself, but I don't think any of our distributors have any... I don't think there's any Michelins on our distributor's website, so I don't think we can get access to those. But I will try to put up some more track day special options. We're actually getting our stuff sorted for the Ninja 400 Endurance bike, which is going to be super fun too. If y'all remember, we have the KTM RC 390 as our giveaway bike right now for the beginner bike, and I want to get sticky tires on that and put it up against the Ninja 400 on track and see how that goes. Super, super pumped on that. This time of year for motorcycling is so sad, boys, isn't it? It's kind of like there's no news, there's no new bikes, there's nothing going on. You're just waiting for stuff to happen, and it's like, I just wish that some more fun motorcycle news and stuff would be happening right now. But everybody's in hibernation, everybody's doing the winterizing videos and all that stuff, Roller Angel has a great thing. Can you do another Champ School video, maybe with a subscriber that you invite out? That would actually be pretty cool. Let me know in the chat what you guys think if we were to do a YAMMIE Noob Champ School, like, subscriber invite, like, you ride on track with me and learn the Champ School stuff. I think that could be super fun. Maybe we could do that as a giveaway or something. That would be awesome. Mike B, Ninja 650, M207, Z650, Trinet 660, SV650. I'm going to flip a few coins and do a bracket-style purchase. Okay, I'll tell you this. Just eliminate the Ninja 650 and the Z650, and then just go ahead and start flipping coins. You'd be good with that. Christopher, Yamaha, wake up. Where's the WR250R replacement? We are all thinking it. Yamaha needs to just make a WR350 and a 500 to compete with the Husky 350s and the 500s. That would be freaking sweet. Let me think here, boys. Any other news going on with YAMMIE Noob? A lot of stuff internal. Like I said, we're doing this new live stream thing. That's been pretty big news. I've been prepping for this for a few weeks now, trying to make sure that we'd have a great show for you guys. And I think we're going to have a good one. Stick around for the reactions later on. That one's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to do the reaction content, because that was actually really fun to do, and it actually wasn't even that hard. It was a lot of fun to do the old reaction videos. Any other news? Let me think of here. We might cut the news section short here and just move on to the Q&A and then get on with the reactions. I want to make this a nice and tidy live stream. Let me just think really quick if there's any other news that YAMMIE Noob needs to tell the YAMMIE Noob audience. Nope, not that I can think of. Boys, let's go on to question and answer. This one's going to be a ton of fun. So I will give priority access to the Discord boys first. That is the way the cookie crumbles here on YAMMIE Noob. We are very fond of the Discord boys. I'm going to kick it over here to Discord, which hopefully OBS has done that. It sure has. We're good to go. All right. So we're going to scroll all the way up. If y'all have never seen this before, this is our Discord server. You can join this Discord server by going over to YAMMIENoob.co, sign up, become a member, and then we will answer your questions and hang out. We have tons of chats over here where you can ask me questions, check out stuff with the giveaway bike. There's behind-the-scenes content, all kinds of great stuff. I'm on here like all the time. This is kind of like my little home away from home on the internet. So if you want to join up, that's the best way to do it. So Bikes and Mullets asks here, says, okay, so I got my license about a year ago, and I restored my bike. It's an 81 Yamaha VX750. I have never gotten it to run amazing, and then when I went to tune the carb and strip the jet out, I bought a new carb, and it won't even run now. Do I cut my losses and get a different bike, or should I get a different carb? I love the bike, but it's sketchy AF, and is it normal for my front wheel to be locked up after sitting for a month? Thanks, Yam. Oh, boy. So I can't see this bike very well. Maybe this picture's a little bit bigger. Here we are looking at this old bike here. And I got to say, man, a 1981 Yamaha VX750, that's by no means a collector's item. That's by no means a motorcycle that somebody is going to be really opining for. I kind of think you should just cut your losses and get something a little bit more reliable, a little bit less headachy. I think it would be pretty simple to fix the carb and do all that stuff on it, but the question is it worth your time as a human being to go through all that hassle and struggle? And it is definitely not normal for the front wheel to not want to move after sitting for a month. That is weird. That tells me either seized bearings in the wheel or maybe something funky happening with the caliper and the pads or something like that. So definitely get that looked at because that is not normal. Ilbald asks, has Yamaha the chance to win something this year? That's asking me if Yamaha has a chance in either World Superbike or maybe in MotoGP in 2023. And that's a great question. I think in GP, if they can get a better engine, they have a great chance. Fabio Quartararo is arguably the most talented rider on the grid right now, and I think if they just gave him a bike with a little bit more horsepower and a little bit more straight line punch, he would be pretty devastating in 2023. I don't really think they have much of a chance for World Superbike because of just how dominant that Ducati was. That was pretty impressive. So that would be my answers for those. Maximum Warp asks, curious your thoughts on the GSX 1000 GT. Sport Tourer, but with a polished version of the K5 Gixxer motor. Is this the next step for the maturing Squid boys? So Gixxer's 1000 GT, man, that's a bike that gets all the fundamentals right. That's how Suzuki operates, you know. They're giving you that classic tried and true K5 motor. It's been around since 2005, and Suzuki's like, we are never changing it. We have perfected it. This is the perfect four-cylinder engine. Nothing will ever defeat this. And so they just keep putting it in newer and newer stuff. They just keep putting it in everything that kind of comes out over time. And I think that it's a good buy, honestly. Like, I've seen reviews for it. Everybody says it's a great motorcycle. If you want kind of a no-muss, no-fuss sport touring bike with a lot of power and kind of all the fundamentals dialed in, you could really do a whole lot worse. And I think it's priced pretty well. I think it's under 14 grand, if I remember correctly, which is a lot of bike for the money. So it's kind of sweet, honestly. All right, D-Train7561 asks, because of the amount of arthritis in my left hand, I've been looking at a DCT for my first bike, and I've been looking at the 2022 Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. What are your thoughts? So, out of all the DCT bikes that Honda offers, I do think that the Rebel DCT is going to be a great choice for you. Couple reasons around that. Number one, it's the most lightweight and peppy kind of fun DCT bike that they offer. I think the only other one I maybe would look at would be the Africa Twin. That's pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure they make that in a DCT. The other alternatives are like the Goldwing and a couple other bikes that Honda makes. I think the NC is also a DCT, so I think the Rebel 1100 is a great choice. Boys, I just remembered. Color Light. How could I forget? Look at this production value. This is what you come to YAMMIE Noob for. Wow. Impressive. Amazing. All right, Jaded asks, if you were gifted a 0-mile Superleggera V4, that's a Ducati for those of you who may not know, would you keep it or sell it? If you keep it, what would be the first track you take it to? If you sell it, what would you do with the cash? So that's about a $100,000 motorcycle. If I was given one, I think I'd have to feel pretty good about whoever gave me this gift, you know? I feel like I'd owe them something. I think it would be such a slap in the face if someone were to give this to me personally, and then I just go around and sell it. So I'd probably keep it just for optics, let's say. And then if I did keep it, 100% I would take it on track. There's no way I wouldn't take that motorcycle on track. It was a gift, so if I crash it, whatever, I'll figure it out. I'll pay for it. I'll fix it. Or if I crash it, I'll just put the crashed Superleggera V4 up on a nice pedestal in my garage and have that as a nice trophy. All right. Matthew asks, if you were forced to sell your truck and live your life with only motorcycles and motorcycle-adjacent vehicles for utility, what would your stable look like? Personally, I'd run some scooters for daily, maybe get a Euro with a sidecar for wintertime, or one of these bad boys. The old BMW crazy wraparound. I think that's the C1. What a stupid, weird, crazy bike with a freaking car seat in it. So if I didn't have a truck and I had to live the motorcycle-only lifestyle, I really think I would go Bergman scooter. And I know some of you in the chat right now are saying, Yam, I cannot believe you're going to go Bergman scooter. That is ridiculous. Bergman scooter is crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that, Yam. You can't do Bergman scooter. But I would. I think it's the most sensible option. And I would just load it up with bags, and I would try my best to transport all my things with it. I would also maybe do a Goldwing as well. Get my long distance in, comfortable, touring, anything I need to get done. If I need to go up to Dallas to visit family or whatever I need to do, Goldwing would get it done for me in style and in grace. And I could still get away with towing something with the Goldwing. I could tow a dirt bike with the Goldwing. I've seen the boys over at Revzilla doing that, so it's pretty possible, I think. I think it is. All right. Got some other questions here. An amazing GIF from one of our boys here, a man with a very large tongue. Hypothetical, Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 asks, Harley-Davidson 120th anniversary predictions. Perfect time for the Bronx now that the ADV was successful. Insert joke about Royal Enfield hitting 120 years first, and follow-up joke about how neither brand is actually 120 years old. So I think Harley-Davidson, I think they have to release the Bronx at this point. I think if they were to look at the underswell of comments of people who are checking it out and doing stuff in the motorcycling space, right? The Bronx is there. It's primed. People are ready and willing and want to accept a Harley-Davidson naked sport bike, but it has to be good. It cannot be $26,000. It has to be priced reasonably well. I think if they were to come in with the 1250 motor, making about 160 horsepower, maybe it's an MT10 competitor, maybe it's in the $15,000 to $16,000 price range, boom, you did it. People will buy it. It doesn't even have to be the best bike. It has an HD badge on it. Somebody's going to buy it because they think it's cool. I mean, people buy the FTR for God's sake. Just make a better FTR and call it a day. So I really think they should do it. Matthew asks, do you think bikes are becoming formulaic in that way that cars are, how every sedan from Toyota to Chevy is essentially the same in terms of size, horsepower, shape, etc.? Especially with the rise of parallel twins and the loss of 600 Super Sports, product lines are getting smaller and more similar across each year across all the manufacturers. And this is something I talked about in my Gixxis 8S kind of first impressions video, is that I think that we are coalescing around this 700 to 800 cc parallel twin new UJM motorcycle. I think everybody's going to be making this kind of bike, and that really is, I guess sad in a way. Like, it's not great that that's what we're coalescing around, but it just makes sense. It's kind of like how everything's a crossover nowadays, right? Like, every single vehicle that every single manufacturer is most focused on selling is the family crossover, right? Everybody has that little egg-shaped, kind of lifted hatchback-looking car for families to use, and the motorcycle may end up the same way, which is really sad. So hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully we get more and more interesting motorcycles happening throughout the future. But I'm a little reluctant and speculative if that's actually going to happen. As Expecto Delito says here, as ICE winds down, we're going to see less and less weird things from an engine standpoint. There's probably not going to be many more bikes with specific powertrains, especially when they're low production volume, like the Rocket or Diablo or Hayabusa. Honda tried to expand the G-Wing line with the Valkyrie, but nobody bought them. So, yeah, those specialty one-off engines, the only manufacturer I can think of that's doing something that is kind of close to that is Ducati, right? Ducati's got their V4, the Stradale that they're putting in the, they've got that version of it in the Multistrada V4. They're putting it in the Diavel. They've got the other version of it in the Street Fighter V4S and the Panigale. So you have 4 models with this kind of flagship big CC V4. Pretty cool, right? They're creating that modularity in that platform, reducing their cost and offering new products. So we might see that. I think that'd be pretty cool. It'd be cooler to see it without it being a parallel twin, but I understand that Japanese manufacturers like to keep those costs down because they know they want to sell at volume. So going through here, a couple other questions. People were chatting here on this, so it's a little tough for me to read here. Looking at ergonomics between some bikes. Okay, so CIB asks a great question, says, why are Florida peeps ineligible for giveaway bikes? So there's actually a rule in Florida that you need to hold the value of your giveaway in a bonded trust account, and it was just a little too complicated legally and operationally for us to do that, so we just chose not to do it, so Florida peeps are not allowed to. So sorry about that. Vic Orion asks, Papa, do you have a physical training routine for the endurance racing? All I really do is cycle, and I'll be honest, it's been the holiday season, and I have not cycled in a minute. I think it's been about 3 weeks since I actually pushed on my pedal bike, but I just cycle around. That's all I really do. I try to log in about 4 to 6 hours a week cycling. If I'm lucky, I'm doing 6, but most weeks I'm doing about 4, if I'm being honest. So I just cycle, I try to eat healthy, and that's my only thing. All right, Mikey says, legit question, I'm overthinking a bike purchase. How do I just stop? So I see a Street Triple, beautiful, that looks just like the one we gave away in 2020. And then I see an SV650. And then the Street Triple, SV650, Street Triple, SV650. I mean, if you have the money, Street Triple, that's objectively a better motorcycle, but you can't go wrong with an SV. I don't know where you're coming from, so it's a bit tough to see this. Dr. Zero says, if you make a track day giveaway series, it's just a full set of track gear and a trip to Yamaha Champ School, I am in. Well, that's pretty sweet then, my dude. Let's see about the chat, boys. Let's check out the chat here. Go on here. What's going on in YouTube chat? Let's see. When does the Tuono 660 video come out? Styrus asks. I'm not sure which video you're asking about, my man. You're talking about like a track day video or something like that? Let me know what video you want to see. Let's see, what else here? Schmutz Timo, where can I join the Discord server? So I mentioned it earlier. You got to go over to YAMMIENOOB.co, sign up, become a member, and then you get access to the Discord server. Very simple. Ashash Budhan says, have you heard of Ultraviolet F77 electric bike? I have not heard of that bike, but I may want to Google it now. Let's take a look. Let's do a Google on this bike, and we'll put it up on chat. How about that? Let's check this out in real time. Put it here. What is this? Looks like a concept bike. Kind of looks like a Zero a little bit. Hold on, boys. Let's take a look at this. We'll go to the website. Ultraviolet Automotive. Let's see here. All right. We're looking at this. Ultraviolet Automotive. Configure your F77. I mean, it looks pretty sharp. Let's see. The F77 powertrain is as much of a work of art as advanced engineering. The motor, transmission, drive systems, machine outputs 30.2 kilowatts of peak power at 100 newton meters of available torque. All this on demand, throttle mapping at its best. You know, it seems like everybody's just doing this electric bike thing now, and I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really difficult for me to get excited about this. I just feel like this is just another overly expensive electric bike offering that doesn't really make me that excited or interested, honestly. I just don't really think that the electric bike thing is all that interesting, to be honest. I don't know. It's just one of those things that, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's hard for me to get jazzed about them, really. So we'll get you some other questions here. SOY says, what is your dream motorcycle? Okay, dream motorcycle for me. And I'm going to get one after the H2. I'll put this out publicly on this live stream just for you guys watching today. Bike I want the most is a Honda CBX. I want that 6-cylinder bike so bad. There was one that came up there's two that's been come up for sale that were just perfect, and I haven't bought them because it doesn't make any sense for me to buy them. However, I really think that after the H2, because I'm not going to keep the H2, I've already decided I'm going to sell it at some point later in 2023, I think October or November, after I've gone over 200 miles per hour with it, made all my videos with it, enjoyed it, I'm just going to sell it. I already have a Turbo Hayabusa. I'm not going to keep the H2. So once I sell the H2, I'll pick up a CBX, because I think the soundtrack alone would make people pretty excited on YouTube, but that is a big dream bike of mine. Okay, so Storley1318, who actually, if that's the same Storley we're talking to on email, is the winner of our YAMMIE Noob headquarters trip. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you get in touch with my assistant and we get it all figured out and you can come out here. That would be awesome. Storley says, what do you think of the newer generation Kawasaki Concourse 14? So, dude, I don't know what is up with the Concourse 14, and I don't know why it has this, like, rabid fan base, but, like, I think like 50% of the videos I post, there is one comment about the Concourse 14. And I'll be honest, there's a guy that I was talking to via email who has one, who I was trying to get a hold of to do a video with, because I think it's so interesting that so many people talk about this bike. And I've never ridden one, because I've always just thought of it as like a fat sport touring Kawasaki wannabe Hayabusa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I've imagined it to be, right? It's this big, long-distance, mile-munching, fat Hayabusa wannabe thing. So if that's not it, please let me know, but that's always the perception I've had from it. Okay, so Giannis Strogolis really wants to know this. He says, is the Sax K50RL a good motorcycle for beginners because it's pretty old? I'll be honest, I don't know what bike that is, but if it's that old, I think that you should not buy it as a beginner. That just doesn't make sense. Kiddo Kenji says, what do you think of the H2 SX Kawasaki? I think that's a great bike. Honestly, that's kind of the bike that I wish that I had gotten instead of my regular H2. But the H2 gets way more views because it's that beautiful squid porn content. People want to see it, you know? So I think that's the one to get. But I really think that the H2 SX is that comfortable, really sweet supercharged option. Totally makes sense to me. I get why people buy it. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Paul Radcliffe would love a shout out, please. Yammy. Paul Radcliffe, here's your shout out, bro. You've been shouted out. Thank you so much. Okay. Gators Critters. What's a good bike for a 270-pound guy that is 6'3"? 600s are too small, not really experienced with 1,000cc sport bikes. So 270, 6'3". I honestly think that it's tough because I think you could get away. Are you looking for a first bike? That's the question. If it's a first motorcycle, you should just get something in the 650 class. Get like an MT-07, a SV650. It's going to be totally fine. That bike will work totally fine. The only thing you're probably going to have to do is get a different rear shock and spring to make it for your weight and get it really nice and sorted for you. It's a really easy thing to do. Just go and chat with your local suspension guy, and you'll be able to get your spring sorted for your weight and all that. Otherwise, you can just ride it stock. Just crank up the preload really heavy, and you'll be good to go. So the Diabetic Surfer says, bro, Yammy, I love your vids. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's scroll down here all the way on chat because we are now caught up a little bit. Shirag Kuruk asks, the best place to put my motorcycle up for sale. I've had really good success on Cycle Trader. I'm not sponsored or paid by Cycle Trader in any way, shape, or form. I've just simply used them as a service, and it worked great. It was totally good. So I think Cycle Trader is pretty good. Millennium Malay says, you've fallen for the too big for 600s meme, ? Yeah, I think Millennium Malay is one of our big Discord users. A lot of people enter this mine where it's like, I'm too big for 600, I need a 1,000. You're not too big for 600 unless you weigh literally 500 pounds, but I think if you weigh 500 pounds, you're probably not considering riding a motorcycle just because it's not going to work well. But anyways, D. Mignon says, I can't wait to get an MT-07. Is any pick info released on the 2023 yet? So I've heard on the grapevine that the 2023 MT-07 has a different TFT dash and a quick shifter option and a bunch of stuff. So I'm actually really excited to see that because I think Yamaha is getting a little scared with the Gixxis 8S and the Honda Hornet 750, especially the Honda Hornet 750, because that thing's priced crazy well. That is a really, really, really well-priced motorcycle, and they're probably going to destroy in terms of sales, which is pretty awesome. Let's see some other questions here. Bob Wall says, Craigslist, but submit it to Yam first, probably as the place to do for sale. I totally agree. Let's see here. Somebody asked earlier about doing, I didn't see the username, unfortunately, but somebody was asking about removing the fairings on the RC390 to see how quickly you can do it, to see if it is really race spec. Love the idea. I want to put that in the calendar for February. We're all booked up for January right now, but for February, I want to do that video to see how easy it is to take the fairings off. I think I can do that with Nico, my intern. I think we'd have a lot of fun doing that video. Let's see here. Thoughts on the Triumph Speedmaster. So I think that's the 1200cc parallel twin cruisery option, kind of old school big chrome bike that they make, if I'm not mistaken, right? Very cool. I think that there's this weird intersection because in my mind I think of the Triumph Bonnevilles and stuff, and I always think retro classic standard, but they do really well with the bobbers and the Speedmasters, and I've yet to ride one, and I think I'd really enjoy it, so I'm definitely going to try to make a video with one of those, hopefully sometime in 2023. All right, here we go. Green Moto. Yammy Noob, which is better in your opinion, the Z900 SE or the MT09 SP? I got to be perfectly honest. I don't think there's any world in which the Z900 SE is better than the MT09 SP. I rode the XSR 900. It's basically an MT09 with the new frame and all that, the 2022. It was a fantastic motorcycle. Fantastic bike. It was so good. I was blown away by how good it was. And I don't think there's any way the Z900 SE can compete. So I think that you should definitely get the MT09 SP if you can find one. They are apparently a very hot commodity, which makes a lot of sense. Let's see here. Other questions. Y'all are very active on chat. This is a big chat we got over here. Again, we don't do the public live stream, so I've got a lot to sift through. Matthew Schultz, Matthew Schultz sounds like the Motor America racer. Don't know if there's any connection. Yam, have you ridden the Tuareg 660? My dude, yes, I have. If you Google Yammy Noob Tuareg 660, you will see the comprehensive review I did out in Sardinia, which is a small island off the coast of Italy. Aprilia invited me out there in 2021 to review the bike, and I really liked it. Really, really liked the Tuareg 660. I would still have a Desert X over it just because I am your classic Ducati simp, and I do just think the Desert X looks really freaking cool, and it's hard to deny. But if you want something that is like 85% as good of a Desert X, just get the Tuareg 660. Beautiful bike. Great bike. Really, really good. Mike B says, best way to size a helmet when purchasing online. So the best way to do this is to have a kind of like, oh, we're up on time here. Up on time. I'll answer this last question, and then we will continue on to the next segment of the live show. But I think the best way to do this is to grab a tape measure, a nice floppy one, not one of those rigid ones. You're not getting an accurate readment. Measure your head from your eyebrows back over here, and then check on the official manufacturer's website. Like if it's an Arai you're looking at or a Shoei, see what size you're going to fit into, and then try to see your head shape too. European and North American folks who are of a Caucasian descent typically have a intermediate oval head shape, and then Asian folks typically have a more round head. That is not some weird phrenology stuff. That's just what I've heard from helmet manufacturers because we sell helmets, guys. So don't get crazy in the comments. So make sure you check out to see what head shape you have and then measure that head too. But now we're going to move on to the reaction portion of this live stream. If you all will give me a moment. This episode of Yammy Noob live stream brought to you by water. That shit is good as hell. Drink it all the time. Yammy Noob ASMR. Okay. Let's do this reaction, boys. This one is so fun. I have curated every single piece of content in this reaction video today. So we are going to be looking through each piece of reaction content, and we're going to be analyzing it, having some fun, and putting it out there. I want to put out big shout out to the Biker Z channel for putting up these compilations. I'm going to have the prominent logo of the channel up on here and then the users up at the top too. So I'll shout out the users and tell you guys what it is, and we're just going to be having some fun. I want to point this out. I am not a motorcycle safety guy. I'm not an instructor or anything like that. I'm just a dude that's been riding for quite some time, and so all this is for entertainment purposes and just fun analyzing. So without further ado, let's check to make sure that we are picture-in-picture. We sure as heck are. Let's go. I got to get my headphones on. So let's check out this first clip. Comes to us from JShark606. Let's see what happens here. Ooh. Oh, yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. A lot to unpack here. Let's watch that one more time. Y'all tell me what's going on here. Check this out. Oh, man. Okay, so right about here, we're adding lean angle. Looks like we're adding throttle. We're asking a lot of that rear tire. And what's going to happen, guys, as you heard me say in the Royal Enfield 650 video, when you're leaning more, you're asking more of the tire, you're going to have slide. And unfortunately, this guy somehow managed to high side on the street, which is really impressive, to be honest. So you'll see here, he's going to get back on the gas, and he's going to just flick the bike the opposite way. Because what happens is, you see right there, bike slid because he asked for too much throttle, and it's going to snap the other way because it regained throttle, which is crazy. So he just yoink. Oh, man. High side on the street, dude. Marquez style. That is impressive. This guy is now 2 feet above the air. High side on the street. That is a, let's get a little clap right there for the chat. Pretty amazing. I really hope this guy is okay. I don't have any follow-up on it. And then unfortunately, bike goes down, rider goes down. That's pretty rough to watch, I'm not going to lie. Guy runs over his fairings, which sucks. His buddy immediately, though, good on him. Rides over, pauses the bike, stops it, gets off the bike, and runs over to help his buddy. Hopefully controlling some traffic here, making sure his buddy's okay. His buddy's up. That's good. Guy is up and walking. That is good. You want to see that from your friends if you do see them crash on the street. That was the first thing I looked when I came on the scene on Isaiah, who crashed the Interceptor 650. He was standing next to the bike, so I was like, phew, okay, he can't be that hurt. He's standing. But, yeah, classic scenario. Way too much throttle, way too much slip of the tire. Bike bites back the other direction, too much grip on the other side of it, and you end up high-siding the bike. So that is pretty unfortunate. So his buddy's going over there, walking to him. Picks up the head of the bike. Oof, the front fairing. That is sad. Can't tell what bike that is. It looked like an R6. I'm not going to lie. I think it was an R6 or a Gixxer, something like that. Okay, this next clip is some really silly stuff, and I've seen this so much. And people will watch a clip like this and think, "Wow, that guy's super badass." But this is a pretty silly scenario. So check this out. Watch this guy riding. Oh boy. So that's all we had from that clip right there. But I just want to point out to you guys right here, this is not where you want to be. How do I know? From experience. You don't want to be over on the double yellow line. It's a bad place to be. But I'm pretty sure this is at the tail of the dragon. And there's actually a user on our Discord server who was there not too long ago. And he said that people will actually ride like this on the tail of the dragon very, very frequently. So that's pretty scary to think that folks are out there riding like this on the tail of the dragon. Because you don't really have much visibility around these corners. And this guy tried to get around this Challenger or whatever quickly as he could, but man, this is a lot of time. That's a lot of time on the other side of the road that you really don't want to be. You're doing 75 on this road. Not exactly ideal, I wouldn't say. Looks like he's on a Yamaha R1. I think that's the dash from that bike. And so really not ideal. You don't want to be doing this on the street. But again, a lot of people see clips like this and they think, oh, this is super badass. Like, I want to be like that guy. I want to ride hard on the street, bro. You don't want to be doing this, guys. This is pretty silly. Don't ride super aggressive like this on the street. You're going to get yourself hurt. So let's go to our next clip over here. All right, so here we have a dude at the Nürburgring. This guy is Alpine Donch, and he's riding at the Nürburgring. And let's just play this, dude. Let's just... Oh, my God, dude. Terrible throttle control, smacking the throttle open and close, like not being smooth at all. Flicking the guy off, this is just a disaster here, right? And the thing is, look how close that is right there. Look how close this guy is to a disaster. And you might be saying, what kind of track day is this? Like, why are there like passenger vehicles and motorcycles? Like, what is going on? The craziest thing about the Nürburgring is that people ride on this road literally as if it was like a public toll road. I think you can just show up and ride this road like a public toll road, which I don't understand how that's allowed or possible. That seems super dangerous in my opinion. But again, you see people like here, they're riding and guy being super aggressive and trying to get around this guy. The other guy doesn't see him. There's another car up in front of him, a convertible with the top down, which is super dangerous for track days, but it's not a track day. So I don't know how you German boys get away with this. This is pretty crazy. Listen to his throttle control. awful. This guy has adrenaline pumping. He's getting a little crazy, right? And so he's just doing this, and like that's asking for a disaster. Luckily, he's on an R6, so it's not that powerful. I'm just kidding. And so he's going to be fine. But yeah, I think that stuff like this is pretty crazy. I mean, this guy clearly isn't on a track prep motorcycle. He's got his mirrors on his bike. He's got these weird little clicker turner things on his suspension, but everything else looks basically stock. He's got a key in the ignition. Looks like a stock master cylinder. This is not a race bike by any means. So it's pretty crazy to see that. Pretty crazy to see that here on the Nürburgring. We'll watch this again one more time. Oh my God, that's close. And it doesn't take much when you're on the grass like that. When you're on the grass on a motorcycle, I've seen in a BSB race, a guy came up right on the grass, added a little bit of throttle, just shoop. You have no grip on grass, guys. Like, no grip on grass whatsoever. There's that popular meme that Harley riders say, them freaking clibbins, man. The clibbins on the ground. Got to be careful with them clibbins. So let's watch this one more time just for our notification. Guy gets super mad, chops throttle. You hate to see it. All right. Next legend comes to us from AK Shit MV. Akshit. I'm so sorry. Akshit MV. Akshit MV here, riding a scooter around. So, looks to be India, maybe? Indonesia, somewhere like that. Rolling around on a little scoot. Trying to go through traffic. And now, okay, so see right here, he's on the edge of the curb, and the frickin' road has fallen off the edge there. So, it's kind of like, all right, you're in a really weird grip situation because you got to get this tire somehow back up on there, but like sideways, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't cut an angle on it because you got the curb on the other side. So he's kind of in a weird like concrete rut right now. So he says, I don't know what's up with my tires, and immediately just has a grip issue. And in the middle of traffic too, which is crazy. This guy drops his bike in the middle of traffic. It's like, oh my God, what is happening? Clearly just like, I mean, he's not wearing gear. He's just a commuter. What is this? Something ST Suzuki. I think this is some sort of motorcycle, but not one that we have here in America. I can't really make heads or tails of what that is. I almost saw what it was there. Yeah, it's definitely India. That sounded like Hindi. 60 kg, bike is 160. He's picking it up in the middle of traffic. What a Chad. Picks the bike up. Okay, we're back in action. Good to go. Good to go. We're fine. We're good. No muss, no fuss. Scared that it didn't start. Mans is breathing heavy. Adrenaline rushing. There you go. Back. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay, we're on the street. We're on the street. Okay, okay, so this guy, he didn't fall 3 times. Maybe the video got cut, but he fell definitely 1 time. But that is an embarrassing situation to be in, right? You're just trying to cruise in traffic. You freaking dip your bike on the corner of like a curb and a road. Not the situation you want to be in. Pretty embarrassing. So let's move on to our next user over here. So Scotty's Adventure gives us a clip. He says, I ride this road a million of times. I was going 45 mph and did a bad line choice, and I froze and panicked and didn't think about hitting the brakes or downshifting, and if I wasn't wearing my gear, it could be a lot worse. Always wear your gear, no matter what. So let's see what happened to this guy. Okay, we're cruising along here. Cruising along. Oh, going wide. Nope. Target fixated. We're gone. That's it. And you're in the corner. Ooh. Ouch. Okay, so pretty boilerplate stuff there. Right, so let's see what happened here. So we're coming around this nice bend. Looks like a fun time for this road. Coming around here, pretty decent lane positioning. We're in the middle now a little bit. We're going forwards. Right here, we're not looking where we want to go, and I know that because this guy's trajectory leads us way out wide. He panicked. He saw that he was going wide, and instead of leaning on brakes, adjusting your trajectory, stayed on the throttle and just kind of lost focus, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going towards this gravel pit right there. And then here's the issue. If you didn't have that little divot right there, you guys can see right over here, you got this little crevice and like the corner of like this dirt and this road right here. No traction, baby. No traction at all. So watch what happens. Front tire goes right here in the middle of this, and this guy's going to go right here, and it's not going to be pretty. And that's exactly what happens. You see right there, front tire goes into it, front weight's going all forward, and this guy's about to get catapulted. And that's what happens right here. See how forward his head is? He's literally right down here. This is the front tire. You don't want to be seeing front tire like that while you're riding the bike. So right there, bike slips, and you can see right there. He's still holding on, which is nice. He's trying to save it, but that bike is totally gone, and it happens really, really quickly too. In super low grip conditions like this, the bike can just slip out from you super, super fast. It's really, really tough to see, and sometimes that can happen, but that's what target fixating happens. You know, if you target fixate on something, you're just going to go where you're looking. So if you are going wide, just remember, you can probably make the turn, guys. You can probably make the turn if you're going a little bit wide, if you're within normal street riding pace. All you got to do is load your front lever, load your front brake, guide that bike in, and just believe that you're going to make the turn. Just try to make the turn. You know, you're not going to overload your front tire and slip. I guarantee you. You're not riding at GP level pace. You're going to be just fine. So, Scotty's Adventures, I hope you're fine. I looked a bit rough, I'm not going to lie. All right, this next clip comes to us from Moto Xity. We'll see here, this guy's on track, full suit, having some fun. Ooh, okay. Someone was behind him honking their horn. Classic entry-level track day bro stuff. Honestly, really pretty easy go and slide for this guy. So let's watch what happened again. So let's listen back to this, okay? So let's listen to what happened with this guy. Downshifting, braking, or at least not on throttle, which is good. Hit our apex, nice. Right here, we're going to add some gas. And right there, it's gone. So what tells me that it was probably something on the road and not necessarily a rider input is how quickly the tire just gave way. This happened to me on track one time. I was coming into a corner about 110 miles per hour on my Daytona. I hit a black spot of oil. The bike literally just disappeared from underneath me. There was nothing I could have done. The oil was there, and the bike was just gone. So same thing with this guy. It's hard to tell what was on the road because we have a butt facing camera here, which is great to check body position and lines, but right there it's just gone. So that had to be something in the road that caused that rear tire to just immediately slide out. Because if it wasn't, you would have seen something more similar to what we saw in the first clip where the guy actually gets on the gas and then slides and then the bike tries to recover or it kind of gets twitchy or something happens. This bike just immediately slid from the back and disappeared. So that tells me there was something to do with the road conditions here, not necessarily a rider input because he was pretty gentle on the throttle when he came out of here. It's not a super aggressive track day rider, not riding at an expert level pace, right? We're approaching this, opening gas, and let's go. And he's pretty good, you know? Immediately gets up, he just slid a little bit. This is why we ride on track, folks. This is why we wear a full suit. This is why you ride on track, you have a good time. This is why we do it. This is a great thing to see. I mean, it's not great to see the guy crash his bike, but it's great to see him being safe and doing it responsibly. This could have been super nasty if it was on the road, which there are oil spills and stuff all the time on the road. So let's move on to the next clip. Let's see here. Poor guy picks up his bike. Got to go pit out. All right, so next clip comes from us from KPCCHA. We've got some street squidding going on. I can already tell. We got a little bit of body angle happening. Looks like we're on an R3, maybe? That dash looks... Yeah, that dash looks like an R3, honestly. I think a red one, maybe? I don't know. The windscreen and the mirrors definitely look like an R3. So let's see what happens. Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Look at his friend. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this right here, he's doing a freaking Rossi leg dangle. What a dweeb. Everyone, shame. Shame this man. Shame this man. Rossi leg dangle on the street. You freaking poser. Don't be doing that. That is the silliest thing I've ever seen. You are not doing anything. You look so dumb. Keep your feet on the pegs. All right. Oh, boy. Yeah, that wasn't going to end well. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's not good. Oh, my gosh. That's really not good. Oh, man. This rider's just laying there. That's really not good. Oh, my gosh. KPC, Che, I hope you're all right. That was really hard to watch. Let's recap what happened here, right? So we're traveling at way too high of a speed on this road, right? We're really cooking. We got our buddy leg dangling on the street. We're running through here. We're running way wide, and we try to add more lean because we're like, we got to make it through the turn, but we're not loading the front tire, and we already went in too hot. We're asking way too much of this bike, right? And so, yeah, front end tips, we're gone. And yeah, this looks pretty nasty. I'm not going to lie. I'm almost positive this is an R3 now. So let's watch this back one more time. We have pretty aggressive street riding, right? Oh, man, I don't even want to watch him crash again because that was just really rough to watch. But, yeah, when you combine too much speed for the road along with improper technique, right? You're following a buddy that's, like, doing crazy leg dangling stuff, and you're not really feeling like you can adequately chase him or do whatever, it's going to end in a bad time. You really, really don't want to be doing this on the street. So, KPC Cha, I hope you're okay. I hope you're healing up well. That looked pretty nasty. Just remember that if you're going to be riding on the street in a fun and aggressive way, make sure to trail brake, make sure to not ride over your limits and chase some silly guy who's dangling his leg around. Let's move on to the next clip here. Let's move ahead here from poor KPC Cha's crash. Okay, so next clip comes to us from Chronic Rider 666. Great username. Okay. See, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
What the fuck did I do to you? What the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do to you?
What? Pull over then, bitch.
Pull over for what?
See,
You're a fucking pussy.
This is so dumb. Okay, I got so much to say about that, man. First of all, this is the exact opposite of what you want to be doing, dude. What are you doing that you are being so aggressive with people on the street? Let's look at what happened to this guy, okay? He's traveling along this road, and this Honda, whatever the hell, gets in front of him a little bit. Looks like you had plenty of space. You're going a little bit fast, right? What was your closing speed here? Let's see back here. So look like you're coming down from, I think that might be KPH, probably KPH, because it said 74 on there, but this looks even slow for KPH, and it looks like this is America, so maybe this guy just has his speedo completely off because he's not doing 89 miles an hour right now. So I'm not sure about the speedo on there. That FZ09 that we're seeing here might be a little compromised, but this was not that bad. You were able to save it. You were able to brake. You were able to not have this person get in front of you. No muss, no fuss. My rule of thumb, keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling. You don't have to go crazy here. Just simply allow yourself to be in a zen state of mind when you ride a bike. So this guy did not allow for that. Here's what happened. He's now angry. He's antagonizing this other driver. He's egging him on to do something, and you really don't ever want to do this, guys. You don't ever want to be in a position where you are antagonizing people and egging them on and doing this sort of thing, because it's just going to lead to a disaster, because you don't know where people are coming from. This guy in this car could be having the worst day of his life, and you've just tipped him off over the edge, and now he might actually commit violence towards you or run you off the road or do whatever, because he's in a giant cage. It's so easy for him to just turn the steering wheel and kill you. Don't do this. Just try to be cool. Don't antagonize. Don't get in a situation where you're trying to raise your voice and yell at people on the street. Just keep it moving. You don't know these people. You wouldn't do this if you were just walking by to a stranger, so you shouldn't do it in a vehicle. So That's all I have to say about that. This was a very, very silly situation that could have been fixed very easily. So next up, we have Toronto Squids. So see right there, if you'd been paying attention in traffic, you would have seen this guy already moving. I already saw him moving from the time we took off here, okay? So we'll watch this back. Taking off. I already see that guy coming. I see him coming. You don't have to get so upset. It's the same thing with the other guy. If you are aware of your traffic situations, and you guys may see our traffic video that's coming out, I think it's tomorrow. Intersections are crazy. You got to keep your wits about you. You got to make sure that you are watching everything that's happening. So let's watch this back one more time. This person, I mean, you look at this right here, you pause this, the light was already green, you're going. You can see this person was already turning, right? You could see that from the moment the light turned green. You don't have to make a big fuss about it. You're like, oh, this person's turning in, they didn't see me. You don't have to yell at them. All right, let's see this clip. We don't have a username on this one, and I think this is going to be our last clip of the day. Yeah, so this is scary, right? Oof, man. Guy slows down, a lot of adrenaline pumping. You're like, oh man, I almost just crashed into that car. That's really not good. Yeah, I mean, this is what we always are worried about as riders is this person who's just going to randomly pull out. And you could see that right there. He didn't see you, and they're just going to go right through. That's why you always have to hover your front brake lever and make sure you're on top of this stuff, because those drivers will just pull out in front of you. No muss, no fuss. They'll just do that right there, get you off guard, which really stinks. So, guys, we are up on time. I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in for this inaugural YAMMIE NOOB live stream. If you guys enjoyed this content, please let me know down below. I would love to hear more from you. If you have, some good stuff that you want to see here. It looks like I got someone else on Super Chat. Mad Dog just paid me $5. Thank you so much, Mad Dog. I appreciate it. I don't think there was a message with that, but I really appreciate all of you showing up and joining the inaugural YAMMIE NOOB live stream. Let me know if this is something you like to see. Leave me a comment down below after the video goes up for everyone else to watch who missed the live stream. And we're going to be doing these every week from now on. So next Wednesday at 4:30, I'll be back up here doing more news, doing more Q&A, and doing some more reaction content as well. If you guys want to see anything else on the live stream, let me know. This is an experimental format for the YAMMIE NOOB channel, and I think it's a ton of fun. So let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you all in the next one. See you later. Now I got to figure out how to turn this off because I don't ever live stream. But I think I can just do this. See ya.